Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'll be breaking down the MLB slate for Monday, May 1st. We got an 11-game slate on for this Monday. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so looking at pitcher today, I think pitcher is pretty straightforward when it comes to your SP1. Clayton Kershaw is on the slate today, so he's probably going to be the pitcher that I roster. He does get a really good matchup today, pitching at home against the Giants. If you look at Kershaw's PVB against the Giants, 362 at-bats, so a huge sample size. The Giants have only had 60 hits against Kershaw, which is a 166 average, so they have really struggled against him. And in those 362 at-bats, 107 of them were strikeouts. So Kershaw's striking out about 30% of the time against the Giants. I definitely like him today. He's just the safest option. I don't think you want to fade him, especially not for cash games. Now, obviously, if you play tournaments, you can get cute and try and fade him, but if he goes off, he's going to be highly owned pretty much every slate. I don't know why you'd want to fade him. Maybe the price tag. The price tag is a little bit expensive, but he's just so consistent. Aside from his one game at Coors, he's just been really consistent this year. He's pretty much a lock for 25, close to 30 DraftKings points just about every night. I definitely like Kershaw today. I think he has a great upside as well, so he's probably going to be in all my lineups, even tournament lineups. I like him today. And then looking at SP2, Kershaw's probably going to be the only SP1 I like today. But SP2 is pretty loaded today. I think first off, I definitely like Marco Estrada pitching against the Yankees. The Yankees have actually been hitting the ball pretty well this year, but I still like Estrada. He's really come back alive in his last 3 games, putting up 27, 24, and 23 DraftKings points. He has been really consistent lately. And I like his price tag as well at $8,300. That is pretty cheap for the way he's been playing. I definitely think you can target Estrada today. I don't really like this ballpark. This is a hitter-friendly park, but I do like Estrada. His price tag is very intriguing, and he has been playing very well lately. So I definitely think you can target him for SP2. Another SP2 that I like for tournaments is Luis Severino pitching at home against the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays, they have really struggled this year. Severino has looked really solid. In his last 3 games, he's put up 34, 30, and 28 DraftKings points. In his last 3 games, he's had 11, 10, and 6 strikeouts. I love him for tournaments. I think he has a ton of strikeout upside. If you look at his matchup, the Blue Jays, they rank towards the bottom of the league in pretty much every category when it comes to offense. So they have not hit the ball well this year. I definitely think you can target Severino. He's going to be on my radar for an SP2. I think he's just way too cheap at $8K, especially with the way he's pitched this year. I'm really liking him as an SP2. And then another SP2 that I like today is Michael Wacha pitching at home. Michael Wacha has also been really consistent. If you look at his last 4 games, he's put up 25, 16, 19, and 17 DraftKings points. So he has been getting the job done. I really like his price tag today, just $7,200. If you're going to play Kershaw, you're going to need a cheaper SP2, and I like Wacha to fit that build. He does get a good matchup pitching at home in St. Louis, which is a pitcher-friendly park. The Brewers are going to be downgraded in park, so I like Wacha at just $7,200. He has looked really good this year. Another SP2 that I like for a little bit more, I definitely like Jason Vargas as well, pitching at home against the White Sox. But when these teams just played on April 24th, Vargas really struggled. He only had 11 DraftKings points. But aside from that game, he has really done well this year. Against Houston, Oakland, and San Francisco, he put up 23, 34, and 35 DraftKings points. I definitely think you can target Vargas as well. I figure he's probably going to be pretty popular with the way he's pitched this year and the matchup. The White Sox, they're not that good of a hitting team. And Vargas is also really cheap at $7,400, so I also like him. Yeah, that's pretty much it for pitcher. For SP1, Kershaw's the top option by far. And then for SP2s, I like Estrada, I like Severino, I like Vargas, and I like Michael Wacha. Those are probably going to be the pitchers that I look at. But yeah, that's pretty much it for pitcher. Let's go and move on to catcher. All right, since Kershaw is on the slate, I'm going to try and give you guys plenty of value plays today. So looking at catcher for value, I really like Salvador Perez today. Getting a matchup against Dylan Covey. Dylan Covey is absolute trash. If you've watched him pitch this year, he has really done bad. Definitely like the Royals today as a stack. They should be able to put up some runs against Covey. So I really like Perez today. I think he has a great chance to go deep. Dylan Covey, he gets up a ton of home runs. Salvador Perez, he's a great power hitter. He's already had 6 home runs this year. He has been a little inconsistent, though. In his last 4 games, he put up 0, 7, 0, and 21 DraftKings points. So I don't know if I'd use him in cash because he could definitely put up a 0, but I figured the Royals, they should be able to put up some runs. Perez, he has a great power. He could definitely take Covey deep. So for tournaments, he has that upside that you want. Now at that same price tag, also really like Yadier Molina getting a matchup against Zach Davies. Molina has been really consistent lately. In his last 4 games, he's put up 11, 8, 19, and 7 DraftKings points. So he has been getting the job done. I definitely think you can target him going against Davies. Zach Davies, he's not that good of a pitcher. I really like Molina today for cash games. I think he's very safe. With the way he's been playing lately and his price tag, he's probably going to be on my radar if I'm looking for a cheap cash game catcher. He's just been really consistent. He's been getting the job done. The Cardinals, they should be able to put up some runs on Davies. He is not a good pitcher. And at that same price tag, one more value play I like is Brian McCann going up against Andrew Cashner. I think McCann has pretty good BVP against Cashner. Let me look real quick. Yeah, in 5 at-bats, so not much of a sample size, but still in 5 at-bats. Brian McCann has had 2 hits against Cashner, so he's batted .400 against him, so he has done really well. I definitely think you can target McCann. He's going to be going up against the righty, so he's going to be getting a platoon advantage. But in his last 4 games, he hasn't been that consistent. He's put up 0, 16, 7, and 0 DraftKings points. But I love he's playing at home today in Houston, which is a hitter-friendly park. He's going to be getting the platoon advantage. Andrew Cashner, he really struggles against lefties. So I definitely think you can target Brian McCann as well for catcher value. He's going to be on my radar. And yeah, those are some catchers I like today. Let's go ahead and move on to first base. All right, for first base today, I think this is going to be a position where I pay up. I really like Freddie Freeman today at just 4,600, getting a matchup against Robert Galesman. Galesman, he is not a good pitcher. Freeman crushes righties. He's gonna be going up against the righty today. If you look at Freddie Freeman's last 4 games, he's just been absolutely killing it. He's been very consistent. He's put up 10, 16, 16, and 22 DraftKings points. He's going to be playing at home in Atlanta, which is a hitter-friendly park. I really like Freddie Freeman today. He's probably my overall favorite play at first base. I think he's just way too cheap at 4,600. With the way he's hit the ball this year, he should definitely be over 5K, so you're getting a great discount on him. And he gets a great matchup against Galesman. Galesman, he's a terrible pitcher, so I really like Freddie Freeman today. If you're going to pay up for first base, I would target him. I also really like Matt Carpenter as well, towards the mid-range. He seems way too cheap today at 4,200. Carpenter has been a little inconsistent lately. His last 4 games put up 0, 27, 6, and 0 DraftKings points. But if you look at Carpenter's BVP against Zach Davies, he has done really well against him. On 13 at-bats, Carpenter's had 5 hits, and one of those hits was a home run. He's batted .385 against Zach Davies, so I really like Carpenter today. He has done well. He does have a pretty good history against Davies, so you can definitely target him. He's going to be getting the platoon advantage. He's going to be going up against the righty. He does hit righties pretty well, so I like him. One more first baseman I like today is Edwin Encarnacion at just 4,100, going up against Daniel Norris. Norris is a lefty, so Encarnacion is going to be getting the platoon advantage today. He's really catching my eyes just being too cheap. If you look at his last 4 games, his price tag has been close to 5K. So you're getting a huge discount on him today at just 4,100. He's getting a great matchup against Daniel Norris. He is not that good of a pitcher. He does struggle against righties. Encarnacion, he crosses lefties. So you can definitely target him as well at first base. He just seems way too cheap today at 4,100. I like the Indians as a stack. Daniel Norris, he's going to struggle today. So I like Encarnacion as well at first base. And yeah, those are some first basemen I like today. Let's go ahead and move on to second base. All right, so looking at second base today, there's one guy that I want to pay up for here, but there are also some value plays I like at second. But looking at the guy I want to pay up for, Jose Ramirez, he just seems way too cheap today at 4,300. If you're looking at his last 4 games, he has been really consistent. He's been getting the job done. He's put up 9, 9, 14, and 11 DraftKings points. He gets a great matchup today going up against Daniel Norris. I don't really like the Ramirez batting from his right side. He doesn't bat as good from his right as he does from his left. But I still think you can target him today. He's just been really consistent. Like I said, I think the Indians are going to be able to put up some runs. Definitely like them if you're going to stack a team. You can definitely stack the Indians. So I like Jose Ramirez. He's just an overall great hitter, and he seems way too cheap today at 4,300. So he's going to be on my radar if I'm paying up at second. But looking at value, Rougned Odor, he seems a little bit too cheap today, just 3,900. I know he's going to be going up against Lance McCullers, and McCullers is a solid pitcher. But it's Odor's price tag that's really catching my eye. He is going to be playing in a hitter-friendly park, and he's going to be getting a platoon advantage today going up against the righty. I definitely think you can target him. Now, for cash games, I don't know if I would target him there because he is a little inconsistent. If you look at his last 4 games, he's put up 0, 16, 0, and 16 DraftKings points. But he does have those 2 16s in his box score, so he definitely has that upside that you want for GPPs. He has great power. He can definitely take McCullers deep. McCullers, he will struggle at times. Although he's a solid pitcher, he will struggle. So I do like Odor at just 3,900. He's catching my eyes just being too cheap. I really like that price tag. One more second base that I really like today, Jed Jorko going up against Zach Davies. This is a BVP play that I really like today. If you look at Jorko's BVP against Davies in 10 at-bats, Jorko has had 7 hits. 4 of those hits were extra base hits, and 1 of them was a home run. He's batted .700 against Zach Davies, so he has absolutely crushed him. I really like Jed Jorko today. If you're looking to go cheap at second base, like I said at the beginning of the video, you're going to need value if you want to play Kershaw. I really like Jorko as a value play today. Just his overall BVP against Davies, he has rocked him. and he has been hitting the ball pretty well lately. In his last 4 games, put up 13, 2, 0, and 19 DraftKings points. Jorko, he's a great power hitter. He could definitely take Davies deep. He's already had 4 home runs this year, and he's been hitting the ball pretty well. He's batting .321, so I definitely like Jed Jorko, especially that BVP. That BVP is really enticing, so I like him at just 3,800. And yeah, there's some second basemen I like today. Let's go ahead and move on to third base. All right, looking at third base, I think I'm going to be attacking the mid-range here or going for value. One guy that's catching my eye is just too cheap today is Evan Longoria at just 4,100, going up against Wei-Yin Chen. Longoria is going to be getting a little tune advantage today, going up against the lefty, and he's going to be playing in a better park. Tampa Bay, that is a terrible hitter park. In Miami, it's a little bit better, so I definitely like Longoria today. And he's getting a great matchup against Wei-Yin Chen. He is not a good pitcher. He has really struggled this year. Longoria, he hadn't been hitting the ball that well lately. On his last 4 games, he put up 4, 3, 14, and 0 DraftKings points. He's only batted in .216 this year, but he does have 4 home runs. He has been showing off his power. Wei-Yin Chen, he has really struggled this year. He has really struggled against righties, so I definitely think you can target Evan Longoria. 4,100, that does seem a little bit too cheap, so I like him at the mid-range. And then looking for value, I like Maikel Franco today, getting a matchup against Brett Anderson. Franco's going to be getting a platoon advantage today, going up against the lefty, so I definitely think you can target him. He's also going to be playing in a pretty good ballpark. Wrigley Field, that is a hitter-friendly park. So I like Franco if you need value at third base. He has been really consistent lately. In his last 4 games, he put up 26, 8, 2, and 10 DraftKings points. He has been getting the job done. So I do like him if you need value. 3,800, that does seem a little bit too cheap. And another value play that I really like today at just 3,400 is Mike Moustakas getting a match against Dylan Covey. I've said this before, but DraftKings, they never raise Moustakas' price. He always stays the same price. He gets a great matchup today. Going up against Dylan Covey, he really struggles against lefties. Moustakas, he crushes righties. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I like the Royals to put up some runs today, so I definitely think you can target Moose. Especially if you're going to play Kershaw today, you're going to need cheap value, and 3,400, that is very cheap for Moustakas. He's been hitting the ball really well this year. He's batting .275, which is solid, but his home runs, he's had 7 home runs this year, which is crazy. He's been really showing off his power, and Dylan Covey really struggles against lefties. He will give up home runs, so I like Moustakas at third base. If you're looking for value, 3,400, that is way too cheap. And yeah, there's some third basemen I like today. Let's go and move on to shortstop. All right, looking at shortstop today, I think I'm going to be paying up here. If you consider 4,300 paying up, then I really like Francisco Lindor today. He just seems way too cheap. He gets a great matchup against Daniel Norris. I don't really like that Lindor's going to bat from his right side today. He doesn't bat nearly as good from his right as he does from his left. But he's still going to be on my radar today at just 4,300. That price tag is way too cheap. He's just an overall great hitter. He's been really consistent lately. In his last 4 games, put up 11, 16, 10, and 4 DraftKings points. He's batting .303 this year, which is very solid. He already has 6 home runs, so he has been really showing off his power. And Daniel Norris will definitely give up home runs, so I like Lindor at just 4,300. He does seem too cheap. Another guy that's too cheap, in my opinion, is Corey Seager going against Johnny Cueto. He is too cheap today because he's going to go up against Cueto. DraftKings took that into consideration when figuring out his price. So you're getting a really good discount on him, and he can still do well against Cueto. I think if you look at Seager's BVP, he has done pretty well. 20 at-bats against Cueto. Corey Seager's had 8 hits, and one of those hits was a home run. He's actually batted .400 against Cueto, so he has definitely done well against him. So I really like Corey Seager at just 4,100. If you look at his last 4 games, he put up 17, 18, 8, and 8 DraftKings points. He's been really consistent. He's batting .330 this year. He's already had 5 home runs. He's just an overall great hitter. So I love Corey Seager today at just 4,100. Nobody's probably going to play him because he's going up against Cueto. But if you look at Seager's BVP, he has hit Cueto pretty well. So I like Seager as well if you want to pay up. And then there is a value play that I like at shortstop, and that's Didi Gregorius going up against Marco Estrada. Gregorius, he also has pretty solid BVP, 21 at-bats against Estrada. Gregorius has had 6 hits, and 3 of those hits were home runs. He's batted .286, which isn't that great, but the home runs are really catching my eye. And he's going to be playing in a great hitter's park for lefties. The Yankees ballpark is a great hitter's park, and Gregorius is just coming off an injury. He did make his debut on April 28th, which was 3 days ago, and in his 2 games out, he's put up 10 and 14 DraftKings points, so he's already off to a really good start. He's batting .444 in those 2 games. I really like Gregorius today. He's going to be going up against the righty. He does hit righties very well, and he's playing in a great hitter's park. You can definitely target him today at shortstop. If you want to go cheap, I like his price tag at just 3,400. Yeah, there's some shortstops I like today. Let's go ahead and move on to outfield. All right, looking at outfield today, I'm not really going to mention these studs. You know, studs at outfield, they're always in play. But looking for a little bit cheaper guys, I really like Matt Kim today at 4,300. Matt Kemp has just been on an absolute tear lately. In his last 4 games, put up 10, 2, 11, and 46 DraftKings points. It does seem a little bit too cheap in my opinion at 4,300. If you look at his BVP against Robert Gillespie, he has done really well against him. 9 at-bats, so not much of a sample size, but still in 9 at-bats, Matt Kemp has had 4 hits, and one of those hits was a home run. He's batted .444 against Gillespie. Kemp has been on a hot streak, so I'm going to continue to ride that. He's playing at home in Atlanta, great hitters park. I like the Braves to put up some runs today on Gillespie. He is not a good pitcher, so I like Matt Kemp today at the 4K price range at outfield. And then looking at guys at the 3K price range, one guy that's catching my eyes just being too cheap is Aaron Judge at just 3,900. This dude has just been absolutely raking the ball lately. In his last 4 games, put up 22, 32, and 34 DraftKings points. He is still underpriced in my opinion at 3,900. I know the matchup against Marco Estrada isn't great. Estrada is a solid pitcher, but he will definitely struggle at times. I love that Judge is going to be playing at home in Yankee Stadium, which is a great hitter's park. If you look at his stats so far this year, he's batting .301, which is very solid. He's already had 10 home runs, which is towards the top of the league. And Marco Estrada will definitely give up home runs. Aaron Judge, he's a great power hitter. I really like him today at outfield. He is way too cheap in my opinion, just 3,900. Another value play that I like at outfield today, Scott Schebler getting a matchup against Garrett Cole. Schebler has also been on a hot streak lately. In his last 4 games, he put up 25, 2, 28, and 21 DraftKings points. He should be in the starting lineup today since a righty is going to be on the mound. He does hit righties very well. And I love that Schebler is going to be playing at home in Cincinnati. The Great American Ballpark is a great hitter's park. Schebler has really been showing off his power this year. He already has 8 home runs. Garrett Cole, he is a solid pitcher, but he will definitely struggle at times, and he will give up home runs. I really like Scott Schebler today. If you need outfield value, like I said, if you're going to play Kershaw today, you're going to need some value. So I like Schebler to fit that. And yeah, those are some outfielders I like today. Go ahead and give you guys half my lineup for tonight. Alright guys, so this half of a lineup filled out with one of the pitchers that I like tonight, along with some hitters that I like. I did give you guys plenty of value hitters in this lineup, so you can use this lineup and build around it. But if you guys want to get my full updated lineup, then follow me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. Message me on Twitter if you want to get my lineups. They're $5 a day, or you can get a week of lineups for $25. So if you are interested in that, then contact me on Twitter. And I will be posting on Twitter how my lineups do. Even if I win or lose, I'm still going to show you guys my full lineup with all the players that I picked, so you guys can see the picks that I was on for the night. So follow me on Twitter as well if you want to see that. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you never want to miss out on any videos, then please be sure to turn on post notifications. Just click the bell icon next to my YouTube name, and that'll send you a notification every time I upload. So if you never want to miss out on any videos, please be sure to do that. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.
Just ride the whip till it crash. Ride the whip till it crash. Yeah. Ride the whip till it crash. Ride the whip till it crash. Ride the whip till it crash. Just ride the whip till it crash. Ride the whip till it crash. Dinner at the Mart, her eyes were light blue. The food was pretty good and the weather was nice. So